All right. Hey, everybody. This is Sunisa Lee, and she is the woman who stepped in for Simone Biles, who stepped out of performing for reasons attached to her mental health, scored a gold medal. And so the world has erupted in joy, particularly the United States, and she's American. And in celebration of her great achievement, Oakland Councilmember Sheng Thao, District 4, wrote a press release. Why? Because Sheng herself is Hmong, as is Sunisa Lee. And this is the email that she sent over. As you can see, I'll read it to you. I don't expect you to read all that little fine print there. And you might there, and then you might wonder, well, wait a minute, who's Sheng? And I would say, you don't know your council members? Oh, shame on you. So I'm going to introduce you real quick to Sheng so you'll know. It's especially shameful you happen to live in my, but I have a feeling that you might not be alone. So let's help you out in that. This is Oakland Council member and my friend Sheng Thao. There she is. Now, the press release that she wrote to celebrate Miss Lee's fantastic accomplishment goes like this. Oakland City Council President Pro Tempore Sheng Thao, who made history as the first Hmong American woman to be elected to City Council in California, celebrates history as Sunisa Lee, the first Hmong American in the Olympics, scores big and brings home the gold in the women's individual all-around gymnastics final. Yeah. Quote, Sunisa Lee has overcome so much to get where she is and is such an incredible inspiration to me and many other members of the Hmong community. I was brought to tears when I saw her win her gold medal. And she continues that Suni's win has ignited and brought together the whole Hmong community worldwide and has truly put the Hmong people on the map, something we've been fighting for generations. And then she goes on to explain that fleeing this secret war. Folks, this is a whole history that's just, I mean, to think, we could talk about coming from slavery, but it's jarring to read the background of the Hmong. There are only 171,000 Hmong Americans alive today. But let me continue. She says, fleeing the secret war, the Hmong people living in the Laotian mountains were offered refuge in the United States and mostly settled in Minnesota, Wisconsin, and California. Since settling in America, Hmong people have faced poverty, violence, and lack of public support due to cultural and language barriers between them and local officials. And because they are aggregated under the API umbrella, that's kind of a catch-all for it being Asian, essentially, Asian Pacific Islander, right? API, okay? Much needed resources to this fairly new refugee community are not accessible or available. And then she goes on to say that being a Hmong woman is very challenging, and my run for city council reaffirmed that for me. She says we have so few role models and get so little support for our ambitions. This is why Sunisa's win is so important to Hmong women everywhere. She has shown us all what we're capable of. Her win is for all of us who have been told we were, we weren't enough. And for those who couldn't realize their dreams, because their families didn't have enough. Sheng Thao is currently one of only 2 Hmong women serving in public office in California. The other being Sacramento Councilmember May Vang, who was elected in 2020. Both Councilmember Thao and Councilmember Vang have been committed to work to help uplift the Hmong community and uplift Hmong women everywhere. Sunisa has made our job so much easier, said Sheng Thao. I can't wait to see what she does next. And this is really a great, I hate to say teachable moment because it seems like such a overused term, but that's not the case this time. There are only 1.7 million Hmong living in China. This is a group of people that is so highly underrepresented that they're actually in the official group of underrepresented people, because during the Ming Dynasty they were hunted after. They were declared, they were marked for genocide during the 18th and 19th centuries. Think about that. That's not too far away, folks. So to come from that and know that you're from a group of people whose numbers are so small, and for reasons where that added up to them being others trying to exterminate them, is that's hard to process. Yeah, I wouldn't mind talking to Sheng about that sometime. That's something that I'll just say it. I think it's a good idea for people to understand, particularly those who are been enslaved or the mark of a genocidal background, to understand how each other thinks about the world. I think that's something that should be done. I don't quite know how, but I think it's a good idea. Anyway, subscribe to Sunny62. And all the, I forgot, she won the gold medal. Let's celebrate. All right, go USA, USA. All right. Subscribe to Sunny62 and bookmark OaklandNewsNow.com.